It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Boy, are we so happy to see you this week right here from Slumberland at the Lake. I'm Wild Will, this is Uncle Chris. It's time for another cup of coffee right here, as I said, from Slumberland at the Lake. And Chris, another great show. Did you happen to catch the Chiefs game on Saturday?
You know, I did not watch a minute of the game, but I did go back and read what they did. Do you get into the preseason? Do you watch the preseason?
I don't, because it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Exactly.
You know, never want to see your guys get injured if they get some playing time, but I did happen to catch the Bills. We were Buffalo Wild Wings before the fight Saturday.
Yeah.
They were down 2 scores as we got there. They ended up winning it, you know, so that was cool, but preseason to me is kind of like kissing your sister.
Yeah, really. It's a lot of that because, I mean, it's like just like the Chiefs game. Mahomes was in, you know, they score a touchdown this first series, he's in. And the rest of the game, it's just the scrubs, the backups, the guys trying to make the team. So it means a lot for them and for the team growth, but for watching,
Well, that's the whole point is this show is packed with football, not only Lake TV's high school football season and coaches show, Mizzou football, NFL season is here, so our picks are going to get started soon. Uncle Chris, you're going to have Sheree Kelley on and talk to her about the upcoming CADV annual brunch. We're also going to talk about mini Shootout this weekend. The Lake of the Ozarks Shootout is here.
Yep.
That, and of course, we'll have our hometown heroes, that and a whole lot more. But, man, before we dig in, the guys here at Slumberland, the gals here at Slumberland, they're digging in all over the place, moving stuff around. So there's got to be something going on.
Yeah, you might hear them during the show. They're selling so much furniture around here that, I mean, they're literally right over there, right off the set, moving furniture as people are coming in and buying it and stuff. It's freaking awesome.
Well, I want to know what's going on. You guys want to know what's going on. So how about our man Daryl right here from Slumberland?
Hey everyone, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Still in the middle of our anniversary sale. Takes a while to celebrate 55 years of excellence and great deals here at Slumberland. Come see us. We have interest-free financing, we have deals on top of deals, and we deliver the whole lake area. That's Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
All right, make sure you come down and see the crew here at Slumberland. First local story, did you see that the Sunrise Beach police chief has retired?
I saw that, yeah. Let's see, Sunrise Beach announcing the village police chief. Apparently Sunrise Beach is a village, right?
Yeah.
It takes a village. So Jeff Campbell, he retires effective July 12th. So this was a while ago, right? And he'd been there for a while. He served with the Morgan County Sheriff's Department before and after accepting employment with Sunrise Beach. So he was kind of double dipping there. He worked a total of 16 years with the Morgan County Sheriff's Department. So apparently he'd been around there for a while. Yep. I never had the opportunity to meet him, but he was there for a long time.
Yeah, I know Chief Campbell for a long time, and his wife Tina coming to Chances Are a ton, and he's done a good job. And not really sure why at this point, but he did say in the article to Lake Expo that they're going to focus more on their eBay and Amazon resale business, which they're crazy, and they sell books, used books. Tina and him, they're entrepreneurs, and they used to have a storefront in Sunrise Beach, and now I believe that they've kind of run it out of their home and they got another building, but they are really impressive what they do, and being an eBay guy, you know. But I did reach out to Chief Campbell. I said, congratulations on your retirement. Can we get any kind of comment? And he said exactly what he said in the article, you know, that he's been an honor to serve for the last 28 years, and he thanks everybody from Sunrise Beach and the surrounding areas, but he did say, reach out to me January 1st for the full story. So, looks like there will be more coming, but congratulations to retired police chief Jeff Campbell, and Scott Craig is serving as the interim police chief right now. They did accept applications through Monday, August 15th, of course, which was Monday. And so if they have applicants, we should be finding out soon if they're going to make a selection, or maybe if the interim chief, Scott Craig, takes that role on full time. But currently, that's where I live, Sunrise Beach. We're without a fire or a police chief.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because it's not a big town, right? It's like 300, 400 people, so you wouldn't think it would be that massive of a job, but maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, the complex layout of Sunrise Beach and all the roads.
Yeah.
It certainly is. All right. So you guys see every single week we do our Hometown Hero.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're wondering how to nominate someone for Hometown Hero, we're going to tell you in just a second. When we come back from that, Chris is going to sit down with Sheree Kelley, who's the executive director for the CADV, to talk about their organization and some of their really great upcoming events. We'll be back after this. Hey everyone, it's Wild Will.
And I'm Uncle Chris from Slumberland Furniture.
Hey, hopefully you've seen our new Hometown Heroes segment presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center.
You know, we highlight a new hometown hero on Cup of Coffee every week.
You know, people that make a difference right here at Lake of the Ozarks.
Maybe you know someone who is selfless, serves others, and deserves to be recognized.
If so, we invite you to nominate them to be our next Hometown Hero.
So all you got to do is go to our website, click on Contact, and select Nominate a Hometown Hero, and send in why this person deserves to be recognized.
Do that, and maybe your nomination will be our very next Hometown Heroes right here on Lake TV.
Yeah, for Lake TV, I'm Uncle Chris.
And I'm Wild Will. We look forward to seeing those nominations.
And welcome back to A Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris here at Slumberland Furniture. You can see Wild Will has stepped off the set, and we've got the beautiful Sheree Kelley from the CADV joining us, Citizens Against Domestic Violence. How's Sheree today?
I'm great.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Good to have you here. We wanted to have you on right now because you have some big things coming up in the next few weeks and months ahead, including your big fundraiser, which I have heard is the biggest single event fundraising-wise at the lake every year. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is huge.
Yes, and it's very popular. People really enjoy the event.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's a luncheon, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, so before we get to that, CADV, everybody in town has heard of the CADV. Most of us know what it is. Some people don't. So what's new at the CADV? What's going on?
So in 2019, we created a plan to expand our emergency housing program.
Okay.
And what was happening was we were turning victims and families away. And I pause when I say that because it's not like we just say, that's it, go out and fend for yourself. We work with them, but it really raises up that we need more emergency beds for victims that are trying to flee.
Unfortunately, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's a problem you don't want to have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be adding 4 more women's beds or rooms, and it's 12 beds. And then we have a freestanding building on our property, and we're going to convert that into a male suite for male victims of domestic violence because we have not been able to serve them with emergency housing.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, we will be the only one in the central region that does provide that service.
Wow.
The closest is Springfield, so we're very excited to be able to offer that option to male victims.
And when will that be open, or is it open now?
No, they haven't started building it
Okay.
just yet. So we're hoping end of the year, probably realistically with how things are going, it's going to be more middle of next year.
Okay, so the CADV, that stands for Citizens Against Domestic Violence. I kind of call you an angel of the community because you're there for people at the worst time of their life when they're dealing with stuff. You save lives. You run into that situation where unfortunately you have to save lives in that kind of a situation. So this is so important, so big for the community, and you do have that upcoming brunch. So what day is that, and how do people get more information about that?
So the brunch is October 5th.
Okay.
And we are currently selling table sponsorships.
Okay.
So first of all, I'd like to just acknowledge the people, our sponsors.
Yeah.
Barbara Van Tine, the law office of Barbara Van Tine is our title sponsor this year, and she has been for the last couple of years, and we're really grateful for her sponsorship. She also supports many of our victims in the courtroom, and that's a very big deal. And then this year, the cost of putting on our brunch is going up, so we did add 2 event sponsors this year. So we have Jolly Rogers Grub and Grog and the O'Sullivan Bruce Group. And so these are 2 organizations that really believe in our mission, and that's why they decided to invest. So we're really grateful for all 3 for them supporting the
Wow,
organization.
that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We know a lot about the ladies over at the O'Sullivan Bruce Group. They're
Yes.
big on Lake TV. They do their own show here. You have to watch that. It's a little plug for Jess and Nikki there.
Yes, they're awesome.
These table sponsorships, tell us what that's all about. How much does that cost?
Okay, so there's several levels of table sponsorship, and it kind of depends how much you want to pamper your group. The highest level is a diamond level, and that if you want a couple of VIP parking spaces, you want wine on your table.
Ooh,
yeah, so if you want that, then that's the level that you want.
Okay.
And then it kind of trickles down from there. I think the thing that's important to raise up, Chris, is that the CADV gets government grants to run our organization. So that's the pay for the staff, to pay the electric, all of that kind of stuff. But I don't have funds that I can help a victim when they're trying to escape and set up a home on their own.
Yeah.
So if they can't pay rent for a month, the funds we get from this particular event, I can direct towards that. I can use it to relocate a victim to a place where they feel more comfortable and it's safer for them. I can pay for vehicle maintenance, things
Right.
like that. So this money truly goes directly to victims to help them to stabilize. And the truth is if a victim if they get scared,
Yeah.
they will return to an abusive relationship or they will get into another one.
Wow.
And, just that decision making. So this event is so important. So how people can register online.
October 5th is the day.
October 5th, it's from 10:30 in the morning till 1:30 in the afternoon. It's at Lodge of the Four Seasons in the Capana Hall.
Okay.
If you want to purchase your table sponsorship online, it's CADV Brunch 22, and you text that to 76278.
Okay, say that one more time.
CADV Brunch 22 to 76278.
Okay. So October 5th, remember that day, but get your table sponsorships before then. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, fun event.
Yes.
And we'll see you there. And you're running around saying hi to everybody. So, you'll see Sheree there too. Hey, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
So there you go. That's Sheree Kelley from the CADV. We'll get Wild Will back. More cup of coffee right after this.
The Lake of the Ozarks Shootout on August 27th and 28th at Captain Ron's. The largest non-sanctioned boating event of the year takes over the Lake of the Ozarks once again. Who will win this year's coveted Top Gun? Watch while more than 100 boats compete for best in class. The shootout raised over $400,000 for local charities last year. Catch boats hitting speeds up to 195 miles per hour. Celebrate the 34th annual Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, powered by Performance Boat Center.
Man, she is so cool.
I love her. Yeah,
she
she's
is
wonderful.
Such a sweetheart. Great story, what she does at the CADV, what her whole staff does, and so crucial to the community. So make sure with all those upcoming events, especially that luncheon or that brunch on the 5th of October, that even if you don't sponsor a table, maybe buy some tickets, donate something to their silent auction, but certainly get involved because, man, could you imagine the Lake of the Ozarks without the CADV?
No, and it's a good partnership. I mean, we help them a lot, as much as we can, and they are so important, like you said, for the community. And unfortunately, they're too busy over there. They really are.
Yeah, which is, like you said, unfortunately, but such a needed service. So thanks to Sheree. Always love getting to see her and give her a big squeeze. All right, so you saw right before we came back the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout promo was on. You got to see that. Man, that's super exciting coming up next weekend. But really, Shootout is going to be kicked off this Friday with the mini Shootout meet and greet at Bridal Cave. All of these RC speedboats will be on display.
Yeah.
So you can see these. And I was going through the toll bridge this week, and Kathy, one of the toll ladies I know over the years going through the toll.
You know everybody.
She says to me, she goes, wait, so what is this little mini shootout I'm hearing about? She goes, how fast do these guys go? I told her, I'm like, last year's Top Gun was 103 miles an hour, but we've seen boats go over 120 miles per hour. I think the record's 124, if I'm not mistaken. But she goes, what? You mean those little bitty boats go? And that's exactly right. If you've never been and you've never gotten to witness the mini shootout, it is a sight to see, Chris. These little guys go all the way up to 124 miles per hour. That's the all-time record. Last year's Top Gun Kirk Dorsey and Chase Graham went 103 miles per hour. Friday's meet and greet at Bridal Cave from 5 to 8 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday, Tonka State Park at the Springs. Really cool setup. All of the racers have their tents. There's vendor booths, there's food, trucks, and of course you can participate in the hiking at Tonka, or you can sit lakeside right there.
Yeah, or take your boat out and watch from the water.
You could go from the
do
water.
That too, yeah.
But man, this thing gets bigger and bigger, and it's got a lot of momentum. I'm excited to see how many people turn out this year, but make sure you make plans this Saturday and Sunday to go out to Tonka. And if you can make it Friday to get to see these little boats ahead of time, you certainly will be glad you went out there. And tell Steve out of Bridal Cave we said hey.
Good Steve Thompson out there. And we went out there to the mini shootout meet and greet a couple years ago, just meeting folks, meeting the racers. They were in from all over the country. We met people from Texas, Tennessee, Michigan, but the boats are on display there too, so you can check those out. And again, that's the Friday night before this Friday night, the meet and greet. It's pretty cool. Say hi to Steve.
Yeah, who would have thought though? When I first heard about the mini shootout, I was like, okay, mini boats, they're probably going like 25, 30, before they lose control. No, these guys are way smarter when it comes to
these They take it seriously, too.
Oh, very seriously. Yeah, you spend time and money with anything. The people that are most passionate tend to take that pretty seriously. All right, now it's time for our next segment, our weekly Hometown Heroes presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center. Every single week we highlight someone in the lake community that has done something great, serves others, and this week, special to me, it's Nathan Rennie. Nathan's a Renaissance man from Higginsville who moved his wife and kids here to the lake to pursue his own business, Rennie Trimcraft, as a master woodworker. And let me tell you, his work is superb. He's been highlighted in national magazines. He's won awards. And you can see on screen some of the custom work the guy has done. It's unbelievable. But what a lot of people don't know, Chris, he's also a multi-talented musician. Seriously, I listened to a song he wrote called Open Range, which he sang and played everything except the fiddle, and it was incredible. It was kind of his story about trying to do music in the city and the things he was feeling. And he brought in his neighbor at the time who she played the fiddle through it. But I had no idea that Nathan was a talented musician. He wrote, he sang, played other instruments, brought in the fiddle. That link can be found in the comments. I'll make sure I share that. But most recently of note, Nathan, you could call him a little bit of a political hero. He's went to battle. Now, he's truly put his life business and many of his priorities on hold to get involved, fight for what is right, and expose what he feels is wrong. There are many people who have got involved. Chris, we've gotten involved, Stacey Shore, Gail Griswold, Josh Butterfield, James Gohagan, Ike Skelton. You could go on and on, but Nathan's paid the biggest price personally and been the leader of this necessary change. To be honest, if it weren't for Nathan Rennie, most of us would have no idea about not only the wrongdoings that had been taking place in Camden County, but the depth of these wrongdoings. Nathan has played a huge role in voting out the likes of Greg Hasty and Caleb Cunningham. And of course, these activities don't truly define him, but I believe what does is the side that most people don't get to see, and that's as a husband, a father, and a friend. One thing that the person who nominated him said, Nathan has always stuck up for the little guy. Even when the odds were stacked against him, and against all odds, he's prevailed. Get this, believe it or not, our own Sheriff Tony Helms once called Nathan Rennie the greatest seeker of truth he's ever seen.
Wow.
And I'd have to agree with that statement. If he didn't want a brighter future for his family and his friends, he wouldn't do what he does in seeking the truth. He keeps those in power honest, and for that, I'm nominating him for Hometown Hero. That was Camden County Commissioner James Gohagan, who nominated Nathan. And I want to say there truly are no words to amply represent the magnitude of what Nathan has accomplished. And for those of you who may be like, I still don't know about Nathan Rennie, I still just look at him as someone on Facebook who trolls or who stirs trouble, I would invite you to try to get and sit down with Nathan Rennie. And I imagine if you're like me, you'll be left pleasantly surprised with the man sitting across from you. And I truly believe Camden County is going to be a better place for many years to come, a much more transparent place, and a place that we're all proud to call our home. We want to thank Camden County Commissioner James Gohagan, who nominated Nathan, and I'd have to agree with Commissioner Gohagan in regards to Nathan Rennie. That's why Nathan is this week's Central Ozarks Medical Center hometown hero. And all of us here at Lake TV, Nathan, we absolutely tip our cap to you, and we thank you for all you've done. And that is one that, Chris, I can't say enough. That is very deserving because at one point in time, Nathan Rennie was just looked at by a lot of people as someone who stirred trouble. Greg Hasty called him a witch hunt leader of a Facebook group, and it's no longer that small Facebook group. And so that's why, Nathan Rennie is this week's Central Ozarks Medical Center hometown hero.
That's quite a quote from Sheriff Helms.
Yeah.
The greatest seeker of truth he's ever seen. That's pretty amazing.
Says it all right there.
It pretty much does, yeah. And I know you did a mic'd up on Lake TV with him before the elections, talking about a lot of the bad stuff going on, the tapes that he had put out and stuff like that. And I heard from a lot of people that watched that, said, that's a side of Nathan I've never seen before, and it really had an effect on me. So that was powerful.
Yeah, and I've heard that from many, many people, Chris. And what I love about this guy is he is one of the most intelligent, well-studied. He knows the law better than anyone I've ever met. I mean, he studies, he's Sunshine Request, he reads, and I have learned a lot in my journalism career as far as how to go about legal stories, proceedings, and it's been with the help of Nathan Rennie, because he literally rolls up his sleeve and he does the work. And like I said, a lot of times it costs to his own business, to his own family, to his own interest, but we're all the recipients and the benefactors of that effort. So as we move on, it's time for some sports and national stories. I'd rather just stay with sports. I'm so tired of national stories. The first one is, we're stinking pumped, baby. We're kicking off our 10th season of live high school football right here on Lake TV.
And you've been here for every one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been here for all 10 years of high school football on Lake TV.
And I'm better looking and younger now than yeah, obviously not. But
if you've ever watched we do the classic game of the week when it's not football season or basketball season on Lake TV every Tuesday night and Friday night. And so you get to see Wild Will 10 years ago down on the sidelines, talking with the coaches and stuff. It's greatness. It's kind of fun to see you 10 years ago.
Could only imagine 10 years and 75 pounds ago. So not only do we have our high school football season, which you see our live broadcast schedule right there on screen. We kick off September 2nd, which is week 2 of the high school football season, Warsaw at Versailles. And we did get asked, reason we're not doing week 1 is, Lake TV always shoots the poker run as part of Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. We have guys in helicopters. We have guys on the ground, drone pilots, and that's a full day event at like 11 different locations. And so to go from that to set up for a live high school football game with the same crew, I just couldn't do it to Andrew Evans anymore.
Pretty tough, yeah. For Andrew and Ricky and the whole crew that does, we get the easy part. We just talk about the game and we have fun
right.
watching the game. There's a lot of guys and gals behind the scenes working hard to put us on TV. And so, yeah, that's asking too much to do all that during the shootout all day and then to do the game that night. So we're skipping week 1, starting with week 2, but what a great schedule.
And we won't be skipping our coaches show.
That's right.
Central Ozarks Medical Center High School Football Coaches Show. Uncle Chris, you get to talk with Jeff Shore and Shannon Jolly, and I think that debuts next week, doesn't it?
It does. It debuts next Tuesday. You can see that every day, Tuesdays through Fridays, because they play the game on Friday night at 10, 2, and 6. 10:02, 2:02, and 6:02. And so what we do is with Coach Shore, we talk about last week's game, what happened, why they won, why they lost, who's coming up this week. And then we do the same thing with Shannon Jolly with the Osage Indians. Second year for Shannon back at Osage, and I think they're going to take a big step forward this year.
He's I wouldn't say notorious, but he's very well known for wherever he goes. It takes that first year or two to kind of build the culture and make it a Shannon Jolly program. And typically year 2, 3, 4, you start to see the fruit. And Eldon, obviously took a couple years, but once they started winning district titles, they won a couple of them.
Yep.
All right, so not just high school football, which of course we're excited about, but as we talked about, preseason kicked off. The Chiefs were up 14-0
Yep.
at halftime against the Bears, and they put in some fans and some some backups, and the Bears ended up scoring 19 points in the second half. So the Bears beat them, which, like we said, didn't matter a lot. Mahomes was 6 for 7 with a touchdown pass, orchestrated a great first drive, and that was smart. Get him out of there.
Yeah.
They're set to play Saturday at home in their preseason home opener against Washington. I still have a hard time not calling them the Redskins. The Washington football team travels to Arrowhead. That kickoff set for 3.
Well, and I think they even do have a new nickname now. They're like the Commanders or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
You know, they're the freaking Redskins, right? Get over the PC thing.
Well, next is going to be the Chiefs because you got the tomahawk
Yeah,
chalk, and
I
that's
mean-
like 10 times worse than saying Redskin, I would think.
Well, look at the Indians. The Cleveland Indians changed their name
To
in
the
baseball.
Guardians, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's anytime I see a headline with the Guardians, I'm like, that's
I don't even say it. I just say Cleveland. It's like, you know.
That's awesome.
That's
so
ridiculous.
with that, week 2 of the preseason, you'll remember there's only 3 weeks of preseason
Yeah.
after the NFL extended their regular season to 18 weeks, 17 games with the bye. So the NFL season is upon us, and guess what? It's going to be time for our weekly NFL picks coming up. Hey, Chris, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you remind everybody who won last year?
Who is the defending champion at Lake TV?
The only reason they
for our
wouldn't
NFL
know
picks.
if they haven't watched any previous episode of Cup of Coffee, because you tend to bring that up every single week. It seems
Well,
like.
it's probably the last time I'm ever going to win, so, you know, I might as well make hay while the sun's shining.
That's right. All right, so then also Mizzou, pretty excited. Their opener coming up Thursday, September 1st against Louisiana Tech. And Coach Drink has come out and named the redshirt sophomore Brady Cook the starting quarterback.
Wow.
He started one time last year, and he got in about 5 games. He started that bowl game, you'll remember, and honestly looked pretty good. His numbers were good. He completed about 70% of his passes in those 5 games. No interceptions, a couple of touchdown passes, but it'll be interesting to see. What I think even more than the quarterback play is going to be Missouri's line play and the weapons around the quarterback. Of course, when you lose your running back who does what Mizzou did last year, of course. And I don't even know, did he get drafted? The Missouri running back get drafted?
I don't know. I didn't keep an eye on that. But I'm sure he did because he was freaking greatness. Yeah, it ought to be interesting. And the new preseason AP poll is out. Alabama's 1, Ohio State 2, defending national champion Georgia 3. Clemson and Notre Dame round out the top 5.
Crazy. Alabama just lives there.
Man, they do.
Doesn't it seem
They
like?
really do,
All right,
yeah.
upcoming events around Lake of the Ozarks. Of course, we told you about the mini shootout this week, so don't miss that. Also, for you fighting fans, of course, we had the Shamrock FC event last weekend, but Sam Shoemaker, heavyweight, he's going to be on the BKFC 27 card. That's Saturday from London, and that is a stacked card. That's not even the main event, as he'll be fighting Mick Terrell and that from the UK. But that's in London. How cool is it to see a local guy get to fight on the national stage or the international stage in London?
Yeah, and he's wearing Lake TV gear while he's there, too, so the whole world going to see Lake TV. That's right, baby.
Check that out. Also for me this weekend, I have 3 fantasy football drafts, Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
So it's a week and a weekend, and really the next couple months.
You really
is all
love that
football.
fantasy football, don't you? I mean, you really love that.
Guess who's in the Lake TV League this year for the first time?
Who?
Standing right over there, Andrew
Wow,
Evans.
Andy Evans is in? Wow,
Yeah.
how about that?
He's already strategizing.
Uh-oh.
All right, so I got real quick for you, Chris, before we get out of here. I got a few questions I want to ring off for you real quick. You ready?
Okay, yep.
Most overrated NFL quarterback of all time?
Oh, wow, overrated NFL quarterback of all time? Gosh, I don't know.
Give me an overrated quarterback.
I can't even think of one. I don't
All right,
know.
Uncle Chris's must-do when traveling and
Oh, he was
vacationing.
great. What?
Uncle Chris's must-do when traveling and vacationing. Something you have to do when you're
Eat Mexican food.
Is that something?
Oh, I love that.
I was going to say McDonald's is mine. Like if we're on the road.
Yeah, I love
All right,
Mexican
What
food.
was your dream car growing up?
Dream car growing up, a Mustang, like a 67, 68 Mustang fastback.
Those are
awesome.
slick, aren't
Yeah,
they?
Those are greatness.
All right, most overrated franchise restaurant in the United States that you just don't get all the
McDonald's.
fuss. That's not really a restaurant. That's a fast food, but okay, we'll go with it.
Oh, okay.
All right, Uncle Chris's ideal pizza.
Thin crust. I used to like thick crust with a whole lot of meat and cheese on it. Just anything. I usually do the all meat because that's just greatness. And I love mushrooms too. Get some mushrooms on there.
Awesome. All right, that's a little bit more about Uncle Chris. Don't forget to check out Michael and Tony Wagner on this week's Community Spotlight with Uncle Chris. Until next week, my friends, I'm Wild Will. This is Uncle Chris. We'll see you next week.